So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It has been a glorious Monday in that the hot days, all three of them, are finally over now. And I think the fall is on its way. So der Herbst kommt auf Deutsch. And the weather's just been phenomenal. It's really very sunny today, but it's not blazing hot. And you know, I had a fantastic manicure on Saturday. I mean, she just does a magnificent job. She really gets to the cuticles. I've been getting a manicure since I was probably 16 years old. Started going to like the manicure, pedicure school where you could get it done for like $3 or $4 and just started getting my nails done. And I just kind of like having nice, clean nails. Shower twice a day. I mean, I like being put together. But this particular lady, she does a fantastic job. She also does a facial, and she always takes care of my eyebrows and stuff. She just takes care of me. So really, in that regard, a fantastic weekend. And yesterday we went to Pilsen. Got to walk around the place in the Czech Republic where they actually invented Pilsner beer. And then we wound up having like three clue answer combinations in the New York Times Crossword that was related to Pilsners or something along those lines. It was really kind of an eerie thing. But what a fantastic weekend, kind of welcoming that late summer, early fall weather back into the cycle, and it's just fantastic. But it's Monday, and we got ourselves a Guardian Cryptic to get into, and I'm just tickled about that because these are by far my favorite grids to work through during the week. Now I got to figure out how to construct one. Right? Set one, to get it phrased correctly. So the dictionary.com word of the day is remora, an obstacle, hindrance, or obstruction. What a fantastic word. Don't believe I'd ever heard it before. If I did, it must have just gone in one ear and out the other. It does not ring a bell whatsoever with me. But what a great word. And I can't wait it's been there hereby added to my word hoard, which is where it belongs anyway. So we'll just keep it there safe and sound. So it's got a late start today. Just threw together a Negroni. Those are always, so very good. And I just love stirring them up. Getting the ice to circulate. It really is by far one of my favorite cocktails. And like the Manhattan, it is a bit of an acquired taste because of that sweet vermouth. But there really isn't much sweet about it if you get right down to it. So let's hop into our grid here. Let's see what we've got going on today. So we've got a Cryptic Crossword number 29776. And again, feels like we're back in the 50s again. Like this number is just not changing anytime soon, right? So this one is set by Brummie. So okay, let's hop on in and see what we got today. What kind of excitement do we have in store for us here? So, comical descent of creatures that fly around house. Okay. Crossborn by Bitter Rod. Maybe an axle? No. People who fall for footwear. Oh, that's clever. I think this could be slippers. Maybe. Player's agent having celebrity status. Spike. Senior snatching week off. Spike. Child's play so bound to be on the booze. Child's play. Okay, hopscotch. So bound, hop, to be on the booze, scotch. Okay. May not be in tomorrow because I have to go up near Berlin to pick up a package that I've been waiting on for some time. So if I get back before 9 p.m., probably do the grid then. It'd just be late offering. But nevertheless, but I should be back on Wednesday. And as a matter of fact, we should have a very special guest here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And certainly a friend of the Guardian Cryptic, right? So Neil's coming in. I think he just got into Stuttgart recently. He just flew out. I saw on social media he's going down to Stuttgart to see a really cool house concert, and then we'll get him on Wednesday. So we'll just keep him entertained here in Germany for a while. Let's see. And that's the news from Lake Wobegon, where the women are strong, the men are good looking, and the women are above average. Or the children are above average. The women are strong, the men are good looking, and the children are above average. That's it. If you can tell me who said that as part of their regular epilogue, if you will, on a certain Saturday show on National Public Radio before the Me Too movement, just put it in the comments and I will send you a decal. So one of these, like a wind down thing that you can wear with pride, on your laptop or on the rear window of your car. Be fantastic. That's the news from Lake Wobegon, where all the women are strong, the men are good looking, and the children above average. So carrot and thyme salad with round fruit. Got 6 and 6. Hopefully something will come of that soon. Part of blind alley, perhaps outside city. See that T sitting there, and I've got my eye on blind. So let's go with a slat. As in, when I was kicking the slats out of my crib. Let's see. Everyone needs a means of holding flights when quite trembly. Quite trembly. So me all jitters, I don't know. Way 1 is stricken with primarily genetic cause of disease. Cause of disease should be a pathogen. I always feel like Shotzi and I have a leg up on the clues that have to do with medical science, medical practice. Say green sapphire tops fire and brimstone as a paint option. Paint option. Okay. As usual, ice cracks and splits vessel. Not a tragedy. A passage from a meeting place. Could be an avenue, so a venue as in a meeting place, perhaps. Yeah, well, I need to get the avenue in there, don't I? A venue, avenue. So, quite trembly could be all a quiver. Yeah, I think we're getting somewhere with this one here. So, famous persons not finished wearing kids' jewelry. In desperation, I curse like the Greeks of old, maybe Ionic. Jewelry. Maybe a bracelet. Could be. So, paint option could be eggshell. I keep thinking this is Julius. And I guess it could be Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar. Gosh, I'm having a hard time today. Caesar. All right. 2 jobs and one's left both. Dearie me. Tisk, task. 2 tasks and one's left both. Dearie me. Okay. Clever grid, Brummie. Very clever. Engrave council officials' initials on mountaintop device. Okay. Just leaving that one alone for now. There's no point messing with that one at all right now. I don't know. Let's see. Voluntary fees from Little Darling. Gold vocal number. Bananas turning bowl over. Nuts. Yeah, okay, because I think this is honorary. I was awarded an honorary doctorate back in 2006 for various things I had done as either a commissioner or as a military officer. And for the city of my birth, my hometown, Fort Worth, Texas. And I had never experienced or been familiarized with it in any way with whatsoever the term honorarium. And I was told via email that it would be very helpful if I could send them my social security number so that they could get me my honorarium. And I thought they were talking about the honorary PhD. I didn't really know what my social had to do with it, but this is before phishing was a thing. So I sent it. And turned out it was for a check for a couple $1,000. I couldn't believe it. And they told me to keep it very short. It was a December graduation. I had to give the commencement address, and I was like, so you're paying me like a lot of money to speak for 5 minutes or less? Really, if you could keep it at about 3. We've got 870 students to graduate. I'm like, okay, I could do that. Yeah, I learned very quickly what an honorarium was. It was kind of a nice word. Sea monster, say no more. This has to be a Kraken. And one of my favorite dark rums, by the way. Okay, so C8 clubhouse extension, of course. It's the 19th hole. Defiant having capsized off England's south coast. Pain getting dimwit to be a wiseacre. Beggar can expose housing secret. Funny business as sad colleagues of sacked police commissioner are heard to say. Police commissioner, the chief. Mischief, got it. Funny business. Okay. Okay. You know, while I'm looking at this, really could be the 19th hole. I was just joking. It's like the name of every bar in every clubhouse at every golf, every golf clubhouse, right? At every country club, it seems like in the United States. So, we're going to go to the 19th hole. It means go have drinks and, presumably Uber home. We lived at the Retreat Country Club before we moved to Germany, which is in North Texas. And the clubhouse is where you went. It was a private gated community. There were no cops allowed. There was nothing. It was just a bunch of drunks running around, kind of along with a bunch of sober people. I don't know. Everybody just got along. nobody got in any accidents. It was just a big spread out space. But yeah, if you go to the 19th hole, so to speak. Good times. Yeah, carrot and thyme salad. You know, this seems like it'd be very basic. I just don't know what this is. Spike. All right, let's try to. We got to start doing some guessing here because it's not just coming through to me. I'm gonna go ahead and put 19th hole in. Is what I'm gonna do. I don't know. It was just a joke, but I think it actually might be right. It was one of those jokes like that would be clever if that were the answer, and I think it's the answer. That's what I was starting to think. So, engrave council officials' initials on mountaintop device. Is this an intercom? I don't feel really great about that one, so that could definitely be something else, but it does line up. Let's see. Beggar can expose housing secret. Secret could be arcane. Yeah. Almost mad Greek character stood up for deputy. Almost mad Greek character stood up for deputy. Carrot and thyme salad with round fruit. This seems like a long shot, but I'm gonna go for a cherry tomato. Yes, I do actually say tomato more often than I say tomato. Is that because I'm an Anglophile? Or is it just because it seems like the right way to pronounce it? I don't know. I think it's starting to line up, though. I think we got a smart ass here. This is funny. So it's not a smart arse. It's a smart ass in English, huh? In the original English, not American English, not Yank English. Is it Aussie English? Is it down under English? Is that what they speak down there? Aussie English. I don't even know. I don't know what you call it. I'm assuming it's different. It sure sounds different. They use some of the same words, might, stuff like that, right? You know, but otherwise it seems like it's kind of different, like it's its own thing. You know, like it seems like in a lot of ways you sent the religious crazies over to the New World in the U.S., what would become the U.S., and then you sent all the criminals to Australia, and they became the more righteous ones, and it just seems... What did Alanis Morissette say? Isn't it ironic in a way, right? You know, I don't know. I keep seeing these wonderful British documentaries and Australian documentaries on like the women who were sent to marry in both New World locations, right? You know, and it's like, wow, I mean, what a story, right? What an incredible story. And kangaroos are really pretty violent little critters, aren't they? Defiant. Insolent, of course. I don't know why I didn't even think of that earlier. It just was not coming to me. And now I'm seeing locum, and that makes 100% sense. So, this looks like an instrumentalist. Sure. Instrumentalist. All right. Hoping I didn't fat finger something in there. I feel like I have a shot at actually completing this grid, and I would like to do that without any goofy mistakes. Spike Senior snatching week off. I guess we could be skewering something. Comical descent of creatures that fly around house. Ah. Bathos. Okay. Comical descent. Well, that is true, though, isn't it? You know? I mean, you hear that on occasion. You'll hear someone talking and then they'll kind of lose their patience and then just kind of immediately revert to something that's much more based than they would like to readily project, you know what I mean? You know, it's like, well, you know, from a detached analytical perspective, it seems like the laissez-faire approach that Mr. Chagrin is taking here is really just a bunch of junk science crap, if you ask me. And you're like going, whoa, we went from an analytical detachment to, okay, tracking. Just jumped right on into the L rent there. That was fantastic. So let's see. How did we do, Bob? And I don't see any holes in here. If you see one that I don't, go ahead, send me a note and ruin my day. Otherwise, I feel pretty confident with this now. I did not. I tell you what, 19th hole. I just threw it in there along with intercom. I did not know, but they lined up, and that's usually a pretty good sign. Usually. To Brummie. Cheers. Bravo. Not sure which to expound upon, but let's bring down our Benny Ardea. So in news of the world here, we will be having an interview soon coming up. This will be something that will line up here within this channel, not as a separate channel, but as a sort of a side project. The setter the setter known as Brendan and I have become very friendly, very intellectual, very erudite individual, and he's also an opinion piece writer. He's got a Substack article. Or a Substack account where he puts articles up almost daily. He says it's a form of therapy for himself, but it's become a form of therapy for me as well. I love his writing. I love his takes and the very sane cut of his jib. But he has agreed to do an interview, and I'm going to be asking him the 15 Colbert questionnaire, questions that Stephen Colbert always does with his guests. I don't really know how to change them around, how to edit them to where they would be more fitting, but they really do seem like a pretty good way to get to know someone. And so we'll be throwing that in there and maybe get a little bit of background, maybe some advice on maybe what it's like to, on how to become a setter, on how to set, how to think, how to maybe think through some of these grids. But it should be an awful lot of fun. And I hope that other setters and constructors will come forward and let me do the same with them, because there's something pretty amazing about those who create the grids that we love to solve, right? That we live to solve for, that we live for which to solve. This is not something up with which I shall put. So looking forward to that. I'm going to be sending him an email here after these puzzles get uploaded, and we can maybe get a good time set and whatnot, and we'll just do a Zoom call and I'll record it and I will get it up for all to enjoy as soon as possible. So in the meantime, until we see you again, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin. Be well out there. We may see you tomorrow, but more than likely we'll see you again on Wednesday, since I have to go to Berlin. And until then, always remember, like I have to constantly remind myself, it is a good idea to be nice to strangers. And it's always advantageous to remember when you're speaking with someone who has a very thick foreign accent that you're speaking to someone who is as brave as the day is long. Cheers. Until we see you next time. Be well.